What's a good job for introverts who only have a high school diploma? Warehouse. When I worked in one, I used to regularly go hours without talking to anyone else. I have a friend, who is a deep introvert, that works in classifications, in that she has to watch a bunch of television and tick of lists to figure out what classification they should have, G, PG, etc. She gets to watch most popular shows at least 2 weeks in advance and does it in the remotest part of the building by herself. She also has to sit through a lot of European art movies and gore flicks, which meshes well with her interest in serial killers. Night stocking for a retail store. 95% of the night is just listening to music while stocking by yourself. I used to work at a cactus nursery and it was an introvert dream. Hell, any plant nursery work is awesome and anyone can do it. You just pop in headphones and hang out with plants all day. It's super easy, and you get in awesome shape because you're on your feet all day lifting and moving plants. If you're also a night owl, I'd say look at nearly any third shift job. Most people don't choose it and most people are asleep then, so talking, interaction is quite limited. Data entry. Custodian. Trucking, 100%. Good pay floor between 40 and 50k a year at the start and a great pay ceiling upwards of 100k depending on what you do. Automation is decades away from being a major factor. If you're cool being on your own, it's one of the best careers that doesn't need any secondary education. Good way to see the country as well. You need to be over 21 to work in trucking interstate, if you're under, look into local companies that don't cross state lines to get experience. Amazon shopper at Whole Foods. $15 per hour to do someone's grocery shopping. Just about any job working with animals. I'm a kennel attendant for the Humane Society in my area. Listen to music for 9 hours. Clean kennels and cages. Feed, water the dogs and cats. No human interaction. This was a thread I didn't know I needed. Hashtag I have a sneaking suspicion this guy is using this thread for his own life. Insurance claims processing. I know a lot of introverted people who do this for a living, through having worked it myself for 5 years. Depending on the company and your location, there is a chance that you will eventually be allowed to just work from home, as long as you meet performance expectations, and the quality of internet that can be connected to your place of residence. A factory with equipment loud enough to make earplugs mandatory. It's hard as hell to hear anyone talking over the machines, and that forces extroverts to keep conversations to the bare minimum. This is the only job I've had where being an introvert felt like an advantage. I'm sitting here working from home. I'm a virtual assistant. I make shipping arrangements, pay bills, get quotes for different things, make up invoices. All the same bullshit everyone else with an office job does, but I get to stay home and watch YouTube and not wear a bra while I do it. From what I heard, stocking jobs or working in warehouses. Freelance something. Upwork, Fiverr, and even LinkedIn are all great places to use to look for clients who will pay you to do something as long as you have some kind of creative technical skill. Source: I didn't get to finish college and I make good money working as a freelance content writer while working at home. Any job. Don't let being an introvert be an excuse for not doing great things for the rest of your life. I used to be extremely shy, introverted. I got over it by doing door-to-door sales. I'm still an introvert, but people wouldn't know it. Truly extroverted people are not as common as you might think. Programming. You can learn coding online relatively easily. Factory work is easy to get into and usually once in the door mobility is possible. It's not great, but you can leave it at the door in the way out each day. Fire tower watcher for the National Park Service. Months of just you and your lonesome and a bunch of trees. In the US, medical coder. Lots of opportunities. Decent if not incredible pay. You can get certified within a year of training. After a couple of years' experience, a decent coder can often work from home. Some interaction is required, but twice the pay of many jobs listed here. A local funeral home director hires just such people to serve as pallbearers and to assist at the parlor in a variety of ways. He pays them well. Most of their work time is in silence, except for running the vacuum in the coffin viewing areas. Overnight stocker. Yes, even in a place like Walmart, it'll suffice. Because it's overnight, not a lot of people are around save for co-workers and management. You barely talk to anyone and you can focus on work. What sucks though, is that they don't allow you to have music on. In case the customer comes, they say, "What, one customer coming to me once every 6 hours past? Shortly before I'm leaving from work? I mean, come on. I walk dogs. Other than meeting the parents the first time, I don't talk to anyone. I have audiobooks going all the time. Plus I get puppy snuggles for like 6 hours a day." I think a lot of people here are confusing introvert with antisocial or social anxiety. If the thought of talking to a person brings you great discomfort and you dread a job where you may potentially have to speak with someone, then I have news for you, friend. You're not an introvert, you probably just have social anxiety. I'm an introvert myself, but I don't bust into a cold sweat and stumble over my words if I see a person, nor do I go out of my way to avoid as much human contact as possible, edited to be more precise. Being an introvert is needing time after some socializing to relax, recharge and continue on with the day, not being scared you might talk to someone in an 8-hour period. Probably going to get downvoted for this, but it really does need to be said. I see way too many people in this thread genuinely terrified they might actually have to have human contact in their shift at a job, and it's really scary to think about. There's nothing wrong with social anxiety or being antisocial, but putting the blanket of introvert on it is misleading and wrong. Night security. Garbage collection. Good pay, little education needed, and the smell keeps people away. Medical transcripts, you listen to the DRS notes and type them out. Warehouse. Specifically a loader or unloader or a picker-packer. Glorious, glorious job where I felt I was in heaven even whilst doing physical labor. Just me and my packages, smiley face. Part-time work at a video game arcade, weekdays only and not on Friday. I understand the question asks a good job for introverts specifically, and I've noticed a good deal of responses are targeted towards jobs where the majority of the time spent on the job is usually away from anyone else and being alone. Believe me when I say that when I was fresh out of high school, I also desperately wanted a similar kind of job too, and I did get them, but over time it was incredibly maddening and depressing. At an arcade, especially with the specifics I gave, seemed like the ideal job, especially when I had little training and also wanted a bit of peace and ease for myself. It's too bad that I only found out about this after I jumped head first into the job and demanded I work full-time, including Fridays and weekends. To start, weekdays are incredibly easy. During the morning hours, barely anyone is there, you're always busy too, cleaning the place, fixing any broken machines, and it gets incredibly fascinating, at least for me, learning how each machine works and why. As the day carries on, typically there will be some people coming in, usually parents with their children. Families are awesome customers, even the ones who might complain. For as long as I worked, I've always noticed that as long as their children are happy, the parents are happy, and the children they bring are very easy to please. If, for whatever reason, you get some hours during the afternoon, more often than not, regulars will start showing up and they already know what they're there for, so again, very easy to deal with. You'll get the odd customer here and there who needs help understanding how things work in the arcade, but given some time after repairing, fixing, fiddling around the arcade cabinets, machines, those tougher customers will seem like a breeze. I know that doesn't make sense out of context, but trust me, it will make dealing with them a whole lot easier. So, if that doesn't sound like an incredibly easy job to me, then I don't know what does. You get your alone time, you get to socialize with people that are easy to please and are happy enough knowing you give a damn, and generally speaking, working at an arcade pays pretty well too. Fridays and weekends though are complete hell, so avoid those days as much as possible. Otherwise, you'll be golden. Apply for any job at the state. Trail crew in state parks. Truck driver. Depends on what you like to do. If you want a white-collar desk job, I'd find anything that has education benefits and get a bachelor's degree for free that way. Computer science, study programming, offers some great opportunities to have minimal contact with people if you can communicate well via email. Alternatively, you could get into something like construction. Get certified to operate large machines, and be surrounded by noise all day, no need to have awkward conversations over a diesel engine. Night shift security guards are another option if you can find the openings. They tend to pay a bit more, minimal interaction with people, and can be sort of cushy if it's not a high-stakes one. I know one guy who completed a novel doing this. Thanks for watching. What would be your response? Leave it in the comments and see what the others say. Please also like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Until next time, take care.